The streets are talking. You are now listening to The Box Out. Tri-State area basketball talk at its best. And now your hosts, Kahlil Thomas and Jason Cordner. Let's get it.
From NJ to BK and the world, this is The Box Out on a rainy day here in the Northeast. My name is Kahlil Thomas. Joining me just a few minutes will be Jason Cordner from Brooklyn, New York. And I want to start by saying this, right? I'm going to preface the show by saying, as I said, it's a rainy day. I'm in New Jersey. I know Jay's in New York. So, things happen. Electricity can go out. So just letting you guys know, if we disappear, the weather in the Northeast yesterday, today, and then tomorrow is going to be completely shitty. So in the off chance we're disconnected, we're going to be back on Sunday for another show. This should be a shorter show than normal because we're going to be back on Sunday. So we'll be back on Sunday. So we're doing Wednesday, Sunday this week. But if we, for some reason, conk out for electrical or, I have Verizon, so who knows? Hopefully they don't cut me off for saying that. We'll be back on Sunday night as well. So you get two for the price of one in a week. Bruce, what's going on? Hey, we're in the Northeast. I don't know where you are, Bruce. If you're in the Northeast, you know what we're going through. So, shit happens. I want to start with this. And I was looking at the NBA standings the other night, and there's so much talk every year about parity and how, between the East and the West, you have those top tier teams, and you have kind of the mid level, and then you have Bruce is by Florida. Bruce got it worse than we do. So Bruce trumps us. No offense to you having Trump in your state now. Bruce trumps us completely in Florida because y'all get monsoons and hurricanes and alligators and shit. So you beat us completely. So props to you in Florida. We talk about top teams, middle tier teams, lower teams, and we don't know. It's March. Let's be honest. It's March. You don't know what the standings are going to look like come April. Who's going to be 1 through 6 seed? Who's in the play-in? So it's a lot of question marks. But I'm looking at the standings the other night, and it came to mind. I'm like, you know what I just realized? And I might be late to the party. The Western Conference is deep. It is a deep, deep conference. So I'm going to go through the standings 1 through 6 to just do that first, right? You have a horse race between Minnesota and OKC. So you have Minnesota, OKC, that's your 1 and 2. 3 is Denver, 4 is the Clippers, 5 Pelicans, 6 is Phoenix. Now, Phoenix, I still don't trust Phoenix right now. I still don't believe that Phoenix is that top tier team. They did beat Denver in overtime last night, so I don't want to kind of talk too much shit about the Phoenix Suns. They did beat Denver last night, but I still don't trust Phoenix at this point. But then you have your 7, your 8, your 9, your 10. Sacramento, Dallas, LA, the Lakers, and Golden State. And Bruce said it. Golden State could end up 5 or 6. And we're going to get to that later, how I think you're 1 through 10 in that West, maybe not your top 3. I think OKC, Minnesota, Denver, that's your top 3 in the West no matter what. I feel like that's not going to move. That's not going to go anywhere. That's your top 3. I think your 4, 5, 6, your 4 through 10, there's going to be some shifting. It's crazy how deep the Western Conference is compared to the Eastern Conference. The Eastern Conference is very top heavy. You have your Denvers. Milwaukee has much shit. If you talk about Doc Rivers has Milwaukee playing really, really well in the last 6 games. So I can't see myself talking too much crap about Milwaukee right now. So in the East, you have Milwaukee, you have Boston, and then really, if you look at it again, that's really it. You have those 2 top teams, and you have everybody else kind of floating in the middle. Orlando, the Knicks, Cleveland, Miami, And then it kind of falls off. Sixers don't have Embiid. The Pacers, too up and down, kind of young, inexperienced. So we may be seeing a team growing for next season, not this season. Chicago, they're ninth, but they stink. Atlanta stinks, even though they beat the Knicks. And then it's shit from that point on. Nets, Raptors, so on and so forth, Hornets, whatever. But the Western Conference, I'm almost starting to believe that I think we can kind of crown the NBA champion from the Western Conference. I feel like no team in the Eastern Conference, maybe Boston, who just smacked the hell out of Golden State last week, could make that claim. But I think right now we're looking at a really top heavy Eastern Conference and a very, very deep Western Conference, which would be scary for whoever Eastern team comes out against the West in the NBA Finals. As I bring in Jason Kortner from Brooklyn, New York. Jay, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. Surviving this monsoon going on outside.
Yeah, already warned everyone watching that we might not be here for the whole show, depending on what happens. So it could happen. I'm talking about the Western Conference, how good they are. Phoenix beat Denver last night in overtime. What are your thoughts on the Western Conference, and can we crown the Western Conference champion as NBA champion this year?
I don't want to go there yet because I think it's all about matchups. I think Denver has the best chance of beating Boston because I think Boston's coming out the East. I think Boston's a tier above everybody else in the Eastern Conference. So as of right now, I think Denver will match up good against Boston. However, if Boston met Phoenix or Minnesota or OKC, I think Boston would beat them. It's all about matchups, and I think Denver's size would give Boston problems. But other than that, in the West, but since they all play each other all the time, they know each other's tendencies. It's still a crapshoot to see if Denver could come out the West because, like you said, the West, I would say from 1 to 7 is loaded. I'll even give the play-in team a chance. We saw the Lakers make it to the conference finals last year. So I think the West is really loaded. I give Denver the edge because Jokic is still the best player in the league. And they have that championship chemistry already. So that's the only reason I'll give them an edge. But I think the Clippers can make noise. I think OKC can make noise. I think the Lakers can make noise. It's a crapshoot in the West.
So Bruce had a good point in chat. 1 to 7 only. Are you discounting Dallas, the Lakers, and Golden State? Because Bruce said before he came on, Golden State could end up 5 or 6. Do you see that happening? Do you see a Golden State, maybe a Dallas with a motivated Kyrie Irving moving up? Or is it really just your top 7 of Minnesota, OKC, Denver, Clippers, Pelicans, Suns, and Sacramento?
That's the thing. Is if for Warriors to move up or the Lakers to move up, we gotta say we gotta say we don't believe in Sacramento. We don't believe in the Pelicans, and we don't believe in maybe the T-Wolves. And I kind of don't feel that way this year. This year I kind of feel like it might be just those 7 and that number 8 team. Like I always say on the show, it's the real world Rose challenge. It's like, if they can make it out to getting eliminated in the play-in, they could stand a fighting chance. But I don't know, depth-wise, I don't think those that stuck at the bottom right now can really move up.
Well, how surprising is it? Because I know we were talking about Orlando early in the season, how young team, they're making some noise, and they kind of fell off.
Mm-hmm.
Hold this down and kind of keep it going. And to their credit, they've kind of figured out how to kind of keep it going. And they've kind of figured out that, we're a good team.
Right.
We could win the West. We could come out of the number 1 seed. How surprising is it for you to see Minnesota kind of still keep it together?
I'm really surprised. That was my first. I thought they would have been in trouble before the All-Star break, but they're really keeping it together. The lineup is really working for them. They got a nice size bench. I'm just surprised. I'm more so surprised that OKC is still up there. I thought they would have fell a little bit to the bottom of the pack. Not to the bottom of the pack, but like we're looking at like 5, 6, 7 maybe. But they've held it together pretty well. Pelicans too. Like this is really a good year for the Western Conference. I just wish they would stop showing Laker games all the time. But the conference is really pretty good. altogether. So I'm really surprised to see the Pelicans, the Wolves. Yeah, I'm really not the Liberty of the NBA. Come on now. But I'm really surprised to see them hold it together.
I was waiting for Bruce to make a Liberty dig at some point. I was waiting for Bruce to make a Liberty dig at some point tonight. That's his MO every week. John Thomas, what's up, Dad? What's going on? He made a point about Boston. I think Boston will fold again as usual if they make it out of the East. They haven't proven anything to me besides they always win during the season. So to convince me, I think someone compared Boston to the Buffalo Bills. I can't remember who said it, what show said it.
I think it was
if they don't win this year, you
Howard. Yeah.
Okay. First of all, I don't know why I was watching Colin Cowherd. That's my first mistake. I don't know why that was on in my house.
I saw it on Instagram, so don't feel bad.
How big of how big a failure would the season be for Boston if they don't win? Like, forget getting to the NBA Finals again. If they don't win the NBA Finals, how big of a disappointment is this season considering how well they are playing? You go back to that Golden State game when they beat the brakes off of them. Everyone's like, that's the favorite. That's who's going to win it. What happens if they don't win?
If they don't win, it's Milwaukee last year all over again. Because if they don't make it to the finals, we're going to question the coaching. And God forbid if they see Miami in the first round, they might, have flashbacks to the conference finals last year. So we don't know what happens there. But if they do make it to the finals and they lose again, then we definitely gonna start considering them, calling them the Boston, the Buffalo Celtics, or whatever the case may be. But I think a lot of them, the failures will heavily be on the coach, because here's a second-year coach who struggled a little bit last year to make adjustments. What will happen if they do run into some adversity in the playoffs? They haven't had any adversity so far. Porzingis hasn't been compromised yet. But we'll see what happens comes, when we get to April, May, and June. That's where I would probably have to judge the coaching of the Celtics.
Right now, Celtics are first in the East. The Heat are 6. So they would, but Miami fall back into that play spot and work their way back in, because that's what the hell they do. They play in and just beat everybody. So it's possible. It's possible that we can see Miami, Boston in the first round, which, like you said, it's a scary concept for Boston in that first round. I was at Knicks. I know this wasn't on the rundown, but I think we had to talk Knicks because Jalen Brunson hurt his knee. Not as bad as I thought, because I see knee. I'm like, oh, shit, it's done. We're dead.
Mm-hmm.
Can they survive to the playoffs? Because it seems like every bullet is just hitting them right now. Can they make it to the NBA playoffs healthy at this point?
It's all about, can they get their players back in time for the for the playoffs. I think they'll probably drop, but I don't think they'll drop no lower than 6. So we'll see if they can ride the wave. They've been competitive. It's just like I watched yesterday's game. They just couldn't get any shots going down early, and every time they clawed back, Atlanta was punishing them in the paint, as every team is going to punish the Knicks in the paint because they're very small. So I think they could hold the fort together. I don't think they're dropping more down lower than 6, but it's all about getting these guys back healthy, man.
Yeah, Brunson's out. He didn't play last night. He lost to Atlanta, which, in reality, I took that loss hard because my Atlanta just lost 2 in a row to Brooklyn. Brooklyn lost to Memphis, so Brooklyn ain't shit.
Mm-hmm.
The Knicks are a depleted team, so I almost have to take the loss with like a grain of salt a little bit and go, we didn't have our full complement of players. It's not even close. And now we're like, Miles McBride is playing like 40 minutes a game. Now, if he's playing 40 minutes, we have a problem. There's a bigger issue at hand than what we're seeing. So as long as they stay out of that play-in, I would love for them to get at least the 4 seed so we have some home court, but just stay out of the play-in. I think that's the key right now, is hold the fort down and stay out of that 7.
So you want the 4 seed,
do that, so we're good.
You want the 4 seed so they can say Boston in the second round. I kind of want the 6 seed because I think I'm not scared of nobody except for Boston in the East. I'm not scared of Cleveland, who for some reason can beat Boston but can't beat a depleted Knicks team. I'm not scared of Milwaukee, because Dame time is every 5th game, and I'm not really scared of anybody else in the East. I'm not scared of Philly. I'm not scared of Miami. It's only Boston.
I mean, even Philly, without Embiid, Philly's just a shell of who they are.
Yep.
Right? When they get Embiid back, Embiid's going to be rusty, probably not 100%. So you're getting a substandard Joel Embiid. So the Sixers are ripe for the picking right now.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland can't beat the Knicks. I don't know what it is. The Knicks know how to play the Cavaliers and beat them all the time. It's crazy. Orlando, I'm still not buying them. I'm not buying that they're 4 seed. I'm not buying that they're this good. I'm not buying that all of a sudden, after a terrible season last year, what a young team, give them credit, that they just figured it out. They just found it that fast. I don't see it. So you're right. Boston might be the only team that can really beat the Knicks that I'm like, you know what? I want no part of the Celtics. Everyone else, bring them. Let's go. I'm good with that.
Agreed.
So I talk about the Nets real quick. You're in Brooklyn. It's your home. You live not too far from Barclays Center. What's the public sentiment of the Brooklyn Nets right now in your area?
It's very it's not good, man. I thought it was bad after they got fleeced by Boston for the trade. It's a little worse now because they're in purgatory where they don't own the draft capital. They want to build around Bridges, but I'm like they might need to trade him, get some more assets back. I'm in the realm where they need to blow it up. And to be honest with you, everybody around here is just waiting for they're waiting for the Liberty because there's nothing going on at Barclays right now. You go to Barclays to get a good meal and enjoy wrestling next week, and that's about it.
Get a good meal. Get a good meal in Brooklyn. Not a good place to eat in Brooklyn, by the way. If you go to Barclays, travel around the area, around Flatbush spots. One thing I forgot. They don't have their own draft pick this year. They don't have any draft picks this year. So they have a first round pick next year, second round pick next year. Sorry. Yeah, second round pick next year. They have 2 second round picks in 2026, 2 first rounders in 2027 from Phoenix. So we don't know what pick that's going to look like. And then their own, and then Memphis is second, and Dallas is first in 2029. Essentially, they're hamstrung draft-wise. So as bad as they're going to be for the remainder of this year, and probably next year, I don't really see what the end game. They will have to make some moves. They got to get some draft capital. Trading Ben Simmons 15 cents on the dollar might be the best option for them right now because they don't really have an asset besides Mikal Bridges, and they want to build around him. They're set on Bridges as their guy.
Yeah.
What moves besides Simmons? What do you move Cam Johnson? You just sign him to an extension. Do you move Cam Thomas? Who's going to want a volume shooter who has game ready and misses shots? It's just they don't have a lot of options right now.
Yeah, they got to figure that out. But it seemed like management on the front office understands that, so they're riding with it. Then we got to figure out about a coaching situation. Ali is probably not the long-term plans right there, so who are you going to bring in?
Well, and that's the thing. Do you bring in an experienced coach or do you bring in once again, a first-time coach? They did with Kenny Atkinson. They did with Steve Nash. Do you go with another first-time head coach? Do you go we need an experienced voice in that locker room?
I think you need an experienced voice because these guys are I think you need an experienced voice. Why not go get a Kenny Atkins? Why not get him off a Golden State assistant role? Why not lure him back here? Be like, we're sorry about everything. It was Kyrie's fault. Make amends. That's the right out, though.
Billy Martin with the Yankees. Just keep bringing him back.
Exactly. Keep bringing him back. Yep.
We fired you, but just come back again. It's all good. Let's come back.
Yep.
I want to talk LeBron, and we talk about the Lakers being on TV a lot, and I'm kind of Lakered out. I'm like, I don't want to see no more Lakers on my TV screen. Scored his 40,000th point the other night against Denver. Again, he lost. How much should we care about LeBron scoring 40,000 points? Because I found myself, one, forgetting about the milestone completely. I'm like, oh, that was okay. Yeah, that's the thing. But then two, it seems like it's just a product of him playing for so damn long that, you got 40,000 points because you've been here for 20 years. That's
how I look. That's exactly how I look at it. Because don't partake in the GOAT debates too much because I try to remind folks that Jordan went to college. He played at a high level in college. He played in the NBA where it wasn't this easy to score. And I feel like LeBron is a product of being in so young. He playing so young and playing so old at the same time. We've never had this problem before, where someone comes in, takes the league by storm at 18. Now he's in his late 30s, and he's still at that high level. So I will look at the 40,000 points and be like, will someone else get that ever in my lifetime? Probably not. Will I care going forward? Probably not. I'll give him the credit as like points per season, minutes played, 20-year career, probably had like one. Not even, he never had a serious injury. I'll remember those things more than I remember the 40,000 points.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like it's a product of playing for so long. It's a product of being the number one option every team you played. It's just you played 22 years, you scored a lot of points. That's what it is. That's what's going to happen eventually. I just feel like my brother-in-law, who is a huge LeBron guy, he's called me like, LeBron got 40,000 points. I'm like, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I don't care because it's like, great, he already passed Kareem. That was the mark. Now it's just add-on. Like it's like a team being up 50 to 14, and the quarterback like, I'm gonna go out there and get 500 yards. Like for what? Like you won already. Like you're just running up the score at this point, to the point where no one's ever gonna surpass that mark again. So why should I care? Why should anyone give a shit about this record? It doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything. And besides the like, all right, like I always come back to this debate. When LeBron's career is over, where is that besides Cleveland? Is he getting a statue anywhere else? Probably not. Is the Lakers going to hang up a banner for him winning a COVID bubble title? Probably not. I mean, they're definitely giving him a statue.
And the in-season the in-season tournament. Don't forget that. Don't forget that in-season.
I forgot about that. I mean, I feel like LeBron.
You already forgot about it.
I think half of America did. In-season tournament champs who are currently fighting for in-season play-in.
That one. Oh yeah.
How does that happen? In-season tournament champs are fighting to play in the tournament.
Excuse me. Wait, I'm sorry. The SoFi was it play-in? The SoFi play-in tournament? I think SoFi is a sponsor of the play-in tournament now. I'm like, okay.
Wait, how they got sponsorship for that before they got sponsorship for the in-season tournament? Very interesting NBA these days.
I don't know. It's just fun. I want to double check that it is the SoFi play-in. I'm pretty sure I saw it. And I'm like, wait,
wow,
they got a sponsor for that? Hold on. Yeah, it is the SoFi play-in tournament. SoFi sponsoring the play-in tournament.
It started.
I know. It was like, we got a sponsor for this shit. This is just bullshit. The last NBA question I got tonight is about Nikola Jokic, and there was so much hate put on him. Like we can't give him MVP twice in a row. We can't do that. We can't do it. Embiid's down, so Embiid's out of the running.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really see another player besides whether it was Embiid or Jokic getting the MVP. Is it his award now? Like, can we just give it to Jokic for the third time and say it's your award? You earned it this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, who else would you? I mean, to me, who else would you give it to? He's been clearly the best player in the league. And I don't think it's not even close. I think he's well deserved it, and they need to don't worry about how many times a player gets it. Just it's all about, does he deserve it? That's what it should be about. Like the years Jordan didn't get it, and they felt like they didn't want to give it to him every year. Early on, same thing with Shaq. They didn't want to give it to him multiple times. So I think now we got to come to terms of like, hey, this guy really is the best player in the league. He deserves it. His team's always in contention. He's rarely hurt. Why not? Especially now if you're going by that 65-game rule where players are getting hurt here and there and missing out the threshold of qualifying. So if you're gonna do it by these terms, you gotta give him the award.
Yeah, just give it to him. I mean, he earned it. He is the best player in the NBA. I know there's a lot of debate about it, and like it's him or it's Doncic or Nikola Jokic is the best player in the league. Like we can just put hands down, put that out there, and John, my father agrees. So perfect.
You know the difference.
So we got college basketball starting up.
The difference between Denver and Dallas is they build a team around their best player, whereas Dallas kind of wants their best player to do everything. That's the difference between them two. And I feel like, come in terms of making everyone better, you got to give it to Jokic. And he's the big man. He's a center. He makes that whole thing work.
Well, the other thing is too, you make a good point because they look at Doncic and they look at Jokic like this is a skill that we need guys that's going to fit and go around him perfectly. Yep. And that's what they did. Jamal Murray, Michael Porter, Aaron Gordon, who I thought was not going to fit. I think when he got traded, we were on that day. I'm like, this makes no sense. How's Aaron Gordon moving? Aaron Gordon makes perfect sense. Bones Highland, when he's there, worked perfectly. It works. What Dallas is like, hey, Luka's going to do everything, and we're just going to get a bunch of parts and just hope that they all fit. Yep. Somehow, Tim Hardaway Jr. is still a major part of that team. Tim Hardaway Jr. is like the alternator of that car. I don't know how he's still the alternator after all of these years.
You're right.
And then you get Kyrie. And then Grant Williams did. I don't like Grant Williams. Now you get Daniel Gifford Day. Okay, Gifford's here. Okay, cool. We're going to try this. And, we got Steph Curry again. We got Steph Curry another time. And then it seems like they're just getting all these different parts and hoping that they're all kind of fit together. Yep. And really, you're trying to fit Volkswagen parts in a Porsche.
Yep.
And it ain't working for them.
Not going to work.
No. And it's going to continue to fail until they figure out what they're doing and actually start building around Luka Doncic and stop trying we're going to push you with this guy. And Houston did the same thing with James Harden. Houston tried the exact same thing. Like, we're going to get random players to play with you. And I think Russell Westbrook's going to fit. Chris Paul's going to fit. Dwight Howard's going to fit. Nothing worked. Instead of just saying, this is your skill set. This is what we can do to kind of cater to your skill set. That never worked the entire time James Harden was in Houston.
Yep.
Especially Dwight Howard. That was awful. College basketball, I've been watching a lot more college basketball than I probably should have. I've been staying up late Thursday nights, watching a lot of Pac-12 after dark, a lot of Grand Canyon basketball, which is crazy. I think the Big 12 might be the best conference in college basketball. I think the Big 12 trumps everybody. I think between Texas, between Baylor, between Kansas, Iowa State's up there. Houston's number one in the country. Houston, who first year is in Big 12 this year. I think the Big 12 trumps the Big East. I think they trump the ACC. I think they trump every single conference. And I say this because you watch a Big 12 game, because ESPN's really good at this. The atmosphere is good. And they almost played that Big East style, that 80s, like it's a lot, it's physical, it's rough. They hit some big shots, but there's some brawling down there, and the refs let them go. The refs are like, all right, Houston and Baylor, y'all gonna battle this out. We're gonna sit back and just watch. And if someone gets really knocked out, we'll call a foul. The Big 12 is completely excelled and went over my expectations for them this year, considering it was a whole bunch of brand new teams thrown in the conference this year because of realignment.
Okay, I still got a little faith in the Big East. Shout out to Seton Hall is about to pull out this victory.
You do?
I still have faith in the Big East. UConn's still there.
You still
have faith in you. I still have faith that UConn can run the table. I still have faith they could run it back. Not a lot of faith, but I'll give them 45% chance.
Not a lot of faith. Okay, I'm gonna go through this for a second because I'm going to make a point very clear. Because I'm not a fan of. First of all, I'm not a fan of Big 12 football. I think Big 12 football, it has a Pac-12 feel. Well, the prior Pac-12 football, a lot of throwing, a lot of passing, a lot of yards and points. But here's the top. I'll give you the top 5. Sorry, top 6 in the Big 12. Houston, they're ranked number 1 in the country. Iowa State ranked 6. Baylor's ranked 11. Texas Tech is unranked, but they're 21-9.
Okay.
Kansas 10-7, they're ranked 14. BYU 9-7, they're ranked 20th in the country. TCU is right behind BCU. Texas is always a threat, and I think Oklahoma's close. Kansas State, who made it to the Elite Eight last year, they're kind of in that running too. I feel like I just reeled off 8 teams that can legitimately win the Big 12 tournament next week. It's insane. And like I said, Houston wasn't there last year. BYU wasn't there last year. UCF is up to some teams. They weren't there last year. It just seems like there's just a better quality of basketball in Big 12 than the Big East. And I give you that because I watch a lot of Big East basketball. It just seems like you have UConn, you have Marquette, who's been up and down in conference play. Creighton, who beat UConn, they've been up and down. Seton Hall's going to win tonight. They need this win because I think they're the last 4 in right now. It just seems like the Big East is like, we talk about the Eastern Conference, the Big East is very top heavy. And when you get beyond Seton Hall, who's 4th in the conference, it's a huge drop off. And then you get down to St. John's, Xavier, Butler, and teams at Georgetown, who I think will be good next year, hopefully. So I don't know. You have been to the Big East. I don't have a lot anymore.
Okay. We'll see. I you know what? Next week's the tournament will be very telling. I'm gonna keep my eyes. I'm gonna keep my eyes tuned. If UConn dominates the way I think they will, I have faith that UConn will definitely go into the NCAA tournament and make a great showing. But you know what tournament I'm really looking for this year? The women's tournament.
Right. We're talking about that now. Caitlin Clark, they start in the Big Ten conference play, I think tomorrow, actually. She set the scoring record NCAA, and someone said if she wins the title this year, especially with Iowa's not had any help for her in 2 years. It's been just Caitlin Clark and just a bunch of girls just playing with her. If she wins the Natty this year, she's the GOAT. She's the GOAT. Can we make that statement now? If she wins the title, she's the GOAT.
I'm gonna say no, because if she wins the title this year, it's Carmelo Anthony all over again in Syracuse. Only that she stayed an extra year, and I think personally she might want to stay another year. Even though she's declaring for the WNBA, I feel like she'll make more money staying another year, collecting all that NIL money. But that's a whole nother conversation. But I'm not calling her the GOAT. She's no Cheryl Swoops. She's no Cheryl Miller. She's no. I mean, I don't even know. Is she the best of this generation?
Cynthia Cooper. Is
she the best of this generation? Yes, but I'm not gonna call her the GOAT ever to play college basketball. I feel like, again, she's a product of the new game right now, where everyone's just jacking up shots. Not to say she doesn't have she has game, but do you think she'd be marketable in the next level of the WNBA? Do you think she's going to be the Larry Bird of the WNBA, where she's going to help propel?
They're saying the Fever. They're saying Fever tickets are already bumping up the season ticket prices. They have the first pick. She's going to be first pick. The Fever's already like, all right, we're gonna bump those prices up because they know what they're getting. They're getting what
box
the CBA used. A marquee player.
Box
office. They're getting box office, and they know what they're doing. But Jesus, Bruce gonna get us in trouble. Hold on.
Oh, come on. Come on. We can't say that. We can't say that. Well, can we? Is she the best? I can't think of a better one off the top of my head. So,
well, she's not in the top 10. Yeah, she said she's not in the top 10 best players of all time.
She's not better than Diana Taurasi. No, she is not better than Diana Taurasi. That came to my head quickly. She is. I am not going to call her the GOAT. I think Diana Taurasi had a great career at UConn. I am not going to go there. Nope.
You got so pissed right there. Holy shit.
I had to think about it. I was like, wait a minute. What am I thinking here? No, she's not the GOAT. She's not better than Diana. Barely better than Rebecca Lobo. I mean, I'm not calling her the GOAT. Okay,
Hold on 1 second there.
Maybe that
She's
was
better
a
than
stretch.
Rebecca Lobo.
Yeah, that was a stretch. Sorry, that was a stretch.
I mean, we could go, Tarazi, Sarah Miller, Cheryl Swoops.
Yep.
I think I'm okay. Would you put Stewie up there? Jon Stewart.
See, I'm a prisoner of the moment because I never really watch Caitlin's like outside of her shots. I never seen her like play defense, bring up the ball, things like that. I've never seen those highlights. So I'm not gonna go that she's better than Stewie yet. I'm not going she's better than Stewie. Stewie all around had a great career.
See, Bruce Shamika Holdsclaw was my next one. I'm glad Bruce said
I was
that.
just thinking that.
Shamika
I was just
Holdsclaw,
thinking
Tanika Catchings,
Yeah.
Candace Parker.
I forgot about See, that's what I'm saying.
Sue Bird, you can put up on that list.
I think she's better than Sue Bird.
Okay. I'm trying to think. In the last 30 years, there's so many players I think of now. Like one side. Yeah, I think if she's not top 10, she's close. She's definitely close.
I agree. Well, I'm glad we're all in agreement she's not the GOAT. That would
heck no. It's a conversation starter. Bruce is very upset about this conversation. I've never seen Bruce this passionate unless we're talking about the Liberty just getting their ass kicked by the Aces. He's very heated right now. I'm enjoying the conversation. She's not better than Maya Moore, Angel Wilson, or Kelsey. She's better than Kelsey Plum. I'm sorry. Kelsey Plum played at Washington. Kelsey Plum is top 20.
She was putting up them points, though. She was putting up them points back then, though.
Yeah, she was playing like
she was
playing Oregon when it was a Sabrina Nescu, and she was playing like USC before USC got some recruits, and they're playing UCLA when UCLA was both men and women's teams were shitty.
Yeah,
Kelsey Plum was good. I'm not shitting on Kelsey Plum, but I will take Kelsey Plum, WNBA Kelsey Plum over UW Kelsey Plum.
Well, we could all agree that her coming to the WNBA is going to help.
I'm going to get hate from Bruce
the
about
product.
It's
going to help boost the product.
I want to go short tonight because I know.
Now I was going to say I think her coming to the league is definitely going to help put more eyeballs on that product.
Mm-hmm. Simone Augustus used to ball too. I'm like, come on. Bruce is pretty much every women's player in the last 20 years.
He's got to defend the honor.
Charles balled in college too. Everybody balled in college.
He's defending the honor. I get it.
Oh, Simone Augustus. I forgot about Simone Augustus. Oh, Simone Augustus. That's a throwback. I want to make sure because I'm coming back on Sunday for another show. However, I did want to get your thoughts. Full disclosure. The reason that we did not do the show on Sunday night was because Jason and I was tuning into AEW, watching Revolution and Sting's last match. What were your thoughts on Sting's last match?
I thought it was a good booking. First of all, I had no idea that his son looked just like him. I was like, wait a minute, the Sting he went back to the mullet? Like, what happened there? But I thought it was a good booking. I liked how he looked. This is his last match. I even like that the WWE acknowledged his retirement match the next day on Raw. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm. For 8 seconds.
Triple H just. I mean, hey, it's better than that. It's better than Vince would have said nothing. But I thought the whole show was good. But I love the booking. Steamboat was there. Flair was there. His biggest rival. It was overall a good send off. Now, will he stay retired? That's the question.
Yeah, I think Sting's one of those guys who are like, I'm done. I'm not coming back. I'm over it. Flair's like, it should have been me and Sting for the last time. I'm like, did you not learn your lesson the last time? Like, stop. Nobody wants to see that.
I think Sting's gonna do like Undertaker, do his little do comedy shows, do appearances here and there, and that's it.
I did like the glass spots. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm like, glass? Are we really doing glass? I did enjoy those. The Darby was insane. I was like, you gotta be shitting me. Like, what are you doing?
Yep.
What are you doing, kid? Cut it out. So he's gonna die early. Very, very early.
Terrible.
So that's why we didn't do the show on Sunday. Full disclosure. I hit up Jason like Sunday morning. I was like, AEW's tonight. This thing's last match. And Jason's like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Are we doing the show tonight? Nah. I'm like, yeah.
I gotta watch things. So, yeah. But overall, it was a good card.
That's what happened on Sunday night. Listen, Ospreay Tetsuka was insane. That was like edge of my seat. Like this is a wrestling match. It was the perfect wrestling match for that show. So it worked perfectly. Swerve not win the title. I told you, Swerve's not gonna win it yet. They're gonna wait and push it out a little bit longer.
Okay, but like you said, Adam, he was gonna take the pin regardless.
Yeah, and you can't. I feel like you can't have a title change on a night like with Sting's last match. I feel like anything big, you had to save that for like a pay per view where that was gonna be the focus. It would have overshadowed everything completely. So, Jason, always great show.
Likewise.
Bruce, John, thanks for watching. People listening on Spotify, thank you for listening. This will be up tomorrow. This will be up on Friday, hopefully. Well, tomorrow's Thursday. I keep thinking today's Thursday. Jesus, I'm losing my mind. We'll be back on Sunday. Bruce, Sunday. So we'll be back for a longer show on Sunday. We went short because we want to kind of blow our load tonight. We got a lot to talk about on Sunday. So Sunday, regular hour show, 8 p.m. here on YouTube. Spotify will get it too. I might even create a Facebook page for us where we can put this on Facebook too. That's also in the works as well. So we can be in two places at once and try to get some money out of this deal. So for Jason, I'm Kahlil. Thank you so much for watching, listening. We'll see you Sunday night. There's no pay-per-view, so we'll definitely be here on Sunday night here on the One Podcast Network. Peace.
This has been The Box Out with Kahlil Thomas and Jason Cordner. Subscribe now for the best tri-state area basketball talk.